Hey guys, Matt here with Gear Review Friday. Today I'm going to do something a little bit interesting because the camera that I'm using, the one right here, actually the little device that I use to counteract the wind noise when I'm riding fell off. The glue let go. I'd actually been riding with this thing for, geez, I think about a year and a half, so it's definitely lasted as long as I wanted it to. But instead of gluing the same piece back on, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a new one because I carry some with me. I'm gonna show you how and why I attach these to my camera so that the wind noise when I'm riding and I'm outside and I'm recording in windy weather, you might not hear the wind noise as much as I would without it. It's actually quite a huge improvement to audio when I'm outside. So without further ado, let me get into it and tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so this was the old one. You can see where the glue kind of broke off, and you can even see on the top of the microphone here where the holes are. You can see the residue from the previous glue down. I think it's because it's been really moist and wet outside for the past few weeks. It's just sort of like debonded the glue. But that's okay, we can fix it. So before I get started, let me explain why I glue it on as opposed to Velcro it on. Actually, when you buy these things, this is a skinny micro muff. It's a small dead cat that's designed to fit on smaller cameras. They actually give you the micro muff here with a piece of Velcro. And the Velcro is designed to fit perfectly over the holes in your microphone, right about there. Now normally you'd put that on, and then you'd take your Velcro and attach it on, and then you'd have your muff like so. The problem is that with Velcro there's a gap between the top and the bottom, and this gap is filled with the hook and loop of the Velcro itself. It's actually a bunch of air pockets where air can flow between the microphone holes and the thing that's supposed to be concealing the microphone holes, the dead cat. So you end up actually getting almost as much wind noise as you would without the micro muff in the first place. Now I know this because I actually did a bunch of testing on it a number of years ago when I had the office. I tried Velcro, I tried a foam that was actually, I rubber banded foam, you know, the foam microphone wind covers, and that didn't work very well. I tried to glue foam on, and if you try to glue foam, you'll know what happens. It just sort of degrades the foam. It doesn't attach very well. And so I was wondering what to do. Should I just throw these micro muffs away? And I found a solution. I just ripped off the Velcro slowly and carefully. Wow, my nails are very dirty. Sorry about that. I rip off the Velcro bottom very slowly. I try not to mess up the dead cat hair, so you hold that down. All right. And once that's off, I try and strip off as much glue as I can. And then when you're done, then you prepare the camera and this to mate. Okay, so try to take off as much as you can, but you can actually super glue onto this and it'll work together, so don't really worry too much about that. The last one I used lasted a year, and I think that's pretty good with how much I beat up these things. What you have to do is you have to take some super glue and you super glue around the holes and then attach the two together. When you do this, make sure 100% that you never get into these holes. These 5 holes are where you get the sound coming out, and if you glue into those holes, you're screwed. So that is a very big caveat. When you glue it on, make sure that you're pulling all the hair back, because you don't want to get that hair underneath the underside and end up, you know, losing it. The more hair you got working, the better the dead cat's going to work when it's on your camera. I'm going to take the super glue. Like I said, make sure you get it thick enough that you can get a good seal, but you also don't get any in the holes of the microphone. Make sure that the edges are all connected. If there's an opening, then the wind is going to be able to get in. Okay?
So that's good there. When you place the micro muff on, make sure that you place it straight down and that you don't wiggle it, because you don't want that those holes to get covered in glue. So you just place it straight down. And then that's it. Press in the center here.
Now, because I want the glue to set and not shift around, I don't even touch it. I'm gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes, let that glue settle down, and then afterwards, I'll actually put another bead on the outside edge to make sure I have an accurate seal. And then I'm gonna let it dry for as long as I possibly can. It is super glue, so it doesn't take too long. So I'm always worried that I'm gonna squeeze it and maybe some of that glue is gonna slide into one of those microphone holes.
All right, so here is the micro muff. It's glued on to the speaker holes, and you can see there's quite a lot of edge on the outside edge. And actually, I kind of like that, because what that does, you can see it's not 100% glued on yet, but I can use this opportunity to seal it even more. So what I can do is I can take the glue and I can put a bead that's a little thicker on the outside edge, because now I know that the inside edge is protected. Really glob it on, you can do that, because the more glue you have there, the more separation you have to the speaker holes. Here I can glue it right down. Don't get any glue obviously on the on-off switch. And also be careful on the back here that you don't glue onto the there. Alright, you can even fold this out if you want to, and then press this down, and then you just wait.
Okay, so now I'm gonna let the camera sit for about a half hour, let the glue settle. I apologize for the background noise here. I'm actually at a hostel in Tainan, Taiwan. Outside is a remnants of a typhoon that passed by last night, and so I don't have any opportunity to get out and get to any place that's more quiet. But the information here is still valid, even with the commotion in the background. We're gonna let this dry, and then I'm going to compare this camera, which doesn't have the micro muff on it, to this one, and so that you'll be able to hear with your own ears the difference between having a micro muff and not. Alright guys, so this is attached now, and it's well sealed. It's really tight to the surface of the camera, and it should be fantastic as far as wind goes. So I'm going to open it up and switch over to here. So now you're looking at this camera here, and I've got them both next to each other now. And so let's test it out and see how the wind noise does in a closed environment. So I'm just gonna blow from one side to the other. So there you have it. Now this camera here is rigged up with a really good quality, good sealed dead cat system, and this camera here is going to sit and wait until I need it later. This is my backup camera. I don't really want to glue anything onto it now, because when this other camera goes dead, then I'll actually start using this, and then I'll glue the microphone muff to this. If you guys are interested in the micro muff, it's actually a really good quality piece that attaches to the top of the microphone holes. It just needs a little adjustment, little trinketing, DIY. I'll leave a link for it in the bottom. You can check it out and take it easy. Thanks a lot. Hope this helps you out. Bye-bye.